Star Wars The Old Republic has announced its newest expansion update, and Torchlight Frontiers will be free to play. All that and more. I'm Ethos, and this is Free to Play Weekly. First off in the news this week, RIP to the GOAT Stan Lee. He passed away this week at the age of 95, and he was an iconic man who left his mark on comic books and the hearts of its readers forever. Superhero MMORPGs owe him an obvious debt, and so Champions Online is giving away a free pair of his iconic aviator glasses. Announcing this giveaway was also brought with these inspiring words from Perfect World Entertainment and Cryptic Studios. The world has lost one of its greatest heroes in comic book history this week. Stan Lee created so many worlds that inspired and continues to inspire the work we do here on Champions, and so we join superheroes everywhere in mourning his passing. Stan was a bright, powerful force in the world, working to bring comics to the mainstream acceptance they now enjoy for decades. The stories and the characters he created, and the man himself, will never be forgotten. R.I.P. Stan Lee, you'll always live on within all of us. And so moving on, Rhino Games, a company founded 2 years ago by Blizzard and gazillion employees, have announced a new cross-platform CCG called Mythgard. Mythgard combines old world myths with the modern world, where players make use of both tech and magic in battle against their opponent. The game features a single-player campaign as well as the variety of PvE modes that will provide rewards daily. And as expected from a competitive card game, there's also PvP as well. The game offers both 1v1 and 2v2 competitive play. Currently, the developers plan to kick off the closed beta in early 2019, and the game will be available via Steam, Google Play, the App Store, and as well as a standalone download. If you're interested, players can sign up to participate in the beta via the game's website. And in more update news, at long last, Star Wars The Old Republic has announced its next big update, which will take players to the ancient Jedi world of Ossus, I probably butchered that name, where a full-blown war is about to erupt. The Sith have made their first move, and players now have a choice: support your faction or betray them. The new update includes an all-new 9-chapter story, 5 new levels, and 2 new planets to explore. Players will take on the role of the Outlander once again, a veteran of the Great Galactic War, whose choices will lead the galaxy closer to one side or the other of the Force. They'll also be able to choose how to play, whether it's in Story, Veteran, or Master mode. Update 5.10 is set to arrive this December right in time for Christmas. As a huge fan of the last expansion, I can't wait to check this new update out. Now let's talk about some free stuff. These past couple of days have been filled with some awesome opportunities to try and get some big games for free. You may have heard this past week that Rainbow Six Siege was in fact free for this past weekend and was heavily discounted up to 70%. You could have picked it up on any of its major 3 platforms for pretty cheap. And if tactical shooters aren't your thing, then maybe you may enjoy the colorful world of Overwatch. For the first time, Blizzard is handing out an entire free week of Overwatch on all 3 platforms: PC, Xbox, and PS3. And if you buy when your trial is complete, you'll also be able to keep your progress. This will become available on the 20th of this month and will go on until the 26th. And finally, if you're looking for a game larger than life, Star Citizen is also going to be free for an entire full week. Every ship in the game will be available, with a rotating roster every 24 hours. This starts on November the 23rd and ends on December the 1st. That should satisfy any of you guys who are looking for something free to play over the next couple of weeks. It's nearly 2 full weeks of free premium AAA games. Not bad if you're looking for something new and shiny to try out. And finally, some awesome news: Torchlight Frontiers is in fact going free to play, and the devs want you to know all about their free to play philosophy. They recently put up a blog post revealing the broad points of the upcoming game's monetization. It looks like the devs are getting off on the right foot, knowing that talking about monetization is in fact a sensitive topic, especially for free-to-play games. They're painfully aware of the abusive payment schemes some have tried, and are willing and able to change if whatever they're doing isn't working. Now that covers basically all the necessary info sharing to the community, but what about the team's actual plans? Well, I gathered some of these notable bullet points that were laid out in the post. Number 1, we believe that the free-to-play model gives the widest possible audience access to Torchlight Frontiers. We will be building the game with this approach to start, with the hope that it will provide the ability to grow and expand our game for years to come. If it doesn't, we will change course. Number 2, we believe that you should earn your gameplay rewards through adventuring and killing monsters. However, we understand that some people's time is constrained by real-life responsibilities. So within reason, we will allow for limited acceleration of various metrics like gold, luck, and etc. Whenever possible, we think that these powers should be shareable with your friends, and we will still require that you can earn your loot through adventuring. Number 3, We believe that normal gear, like your armor and primary weapons, should be attainable only by adventuring and finding them. That said, we may sell some special items like specific relic weapons. If we do, we will always strive for there to be a reasonable way to obtain and craft through normal gameplay. Number 4. We reject play to win. For one thing, there is no specific winning in Torchlight Frontiers. We want you to be who and what you want to be in the world. We know that killing a boss and finding that cool rare item is immensely satisfying, but buying that same item from a store and auction house is less so. And finally, number 5, we have no plans to gate content from you. There will be no premium areas where paying players can play but non-payers cannot. The world of Torchlight Frontiers is open and fair, and we value our non-paying players and paying players alike. You are all valued members of our community. They certainly say all the right things, though the exact implementation will still need to be analyzed. Now, there are some points in this that do stand out that I want to bring up. The second point has a whiff of pay to save time that's been used to push a less than stellar monetization in the past, and the third point about selling relic weapons, which are described as superpowered, could also rub some people the wrong way. This especially seems to contradict the fourth point, which expressly states that it's better to get an item through gameplay than it is for us to buy it in a shop. But at the end of the day, it all depends on the cost, money or time required to get relic weapons and whatever else is in the cash shop. If the balance is wrong, then Extra Games and Perfect World Entertainment will hear it from fans. Then we'll see how committed they are to the mantra that they're willing and able to change. And that leads us to the question of the week. In honor of Stan Lee, the GOAT, let me ask you guys, who was your favorite superhero created in part by him? Mine is currently Black Panther. And that's it for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out MMOBomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name is Ethos, and I'll catch you guys next week.